What's going on, guys? It's OBA Tech. Today I'm going to be going over the things that I think that need to improve in Fortnite in Season 7, just from time playing what I feel like personally needs to improve. The first thing I'm going to go into is Bloom. And now, if you don't know what Bloom is pretty much when you have your crosshair on your target, the other player, and you're shooting at him, and only one to maybe two bullets actually do damage, and maybe the person hasn't even moved at all, or if he has moved, you have good accuracy. But say you have bad bloom and only one or two bullets actually do damage. Now that other person might be having good bloom and all his bullets do damage to you. So now you're in a predicament because he is most likely going to get that kill because your bullets just simply did no damage. And I kind of feel like that adds like a kind of a skill gap type thing. Not really a skill gap, but it kind of like lowers skill because like one person could have amazing accuracy and just have terrible bloom at that moment in time, and there's nothing you can do about it at all. It takes no skill to, you can't control your bloom. At least I don't think so. And I think that's something that should be improved. I think if you have accuracy, you have accuracy and that's it. I don't believe that there should be any type of like science into this or anything like that. If you hit the person, you hit the person, and that's how I feel like it should be. Um, it's my personal opinion, obviously. This has been happening in Fortnite for as long as the game has been alive. I don't think it's ever not been in the game, for as far as I know. And there's been multiple times where this has killed me. And it's just, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. The second thing I want to go ahead and hop straight into is airplanes. Now, I know a lot of people like airplanes. I know a lot of people hate airplanes. Everyone I play with personally hates the airplane. It's the most annoying thing in the game. You're having a nice, calm build fight, and then the next thing you know, you got three airplanes riding through your builds, shooting at you, people jumping off. I feel like besides that, they just kind of ruin the flow of the game. It's like super fast travel, which is nice when you're running from the storm or whatever. But they are so strong. They can go through like 20 structures before they blow up at that if you don't shoot them. And even if you are shooting them, they can still go through like 6 structures before killing you. Or before you kill them, technically, I should say. And then they just constantly shoot at you. They're so annoying. It ruins everything. They're so loud. When I hear an airplane, I just want to leave the game. It's like, alright, boys, next lobby. For that reason, I think Fortnite needs to go ahead and vault the airplanes. I know a lot of people would be very happy with the vault of the airplanes. They're so obnoxious. The third thing I want to go ahead and go into is weapon choices in Fortnite. And in Season 7, there's not that many viable weapons to actually use. You have your standard SCAR and your pump. Your pump, SCAR, and SMG. That is what 90% of the majority of the players run. You might have an occasional sniper who's someone who's really good at sniping. For majority of the players, they run the same three basic guns all the time. There's no other guns that are actual valuable to the game that actually work and do well inside of Fortnite. I mean, you have like a 6 shooter which no one uses because it doesn't do anything, and then you have like what? There's not even that many other guns. You have like a Deagle. The Deagle is not bad. It does have its own uses, but it's like it takes up a slot, and there's no reason to like really have that slot taken up. For example, it just doesn't like you can shoot through wood, you can shoot through mats, easy, break walls quick. But other than that, there's really no reason. And then you have the RPGs. Obviously, RPGs have a big use in the game. I'm not saying that, but most people like the drum gun, for example. That was a good gun that had value in the game. If you did not want to run an assault rifle, you just pick up a drum gun. You didn't want to have an SMG, pick up the drum gun. It was your choice. You had choices with your guns. Now in Fortnite Season 7, I feel like we don't really have choices. It's assault rifle, shotgun, SMG, and that's it, because no other gun is valuable, really, in the course of actual combat, other than, you got your RPG, which just blows stuff up. But other than that, you don't really have much. And for that reason, that's why I think Fortnite should add more gun selection. Maybe more guns like the drum gun, maybe different types of assault rifles. I mean, they have the burst. They just vaulted the burst, so no one even really has that. You can get the FAMAS, which, I mean, who really got to choose the FAMAS over the SCAR half the time? They need more valuable guns, like, say, for shotguns, for instance, maybe a shotgun that shoots flame pellets, something like that to where the game is actually different. You know, it has different effects, has different abilities and things you can do with inside the game with the guns instead of just having the same basic three guns over and over and over. Obviously, there's variations. There's a SCAR with a silencer. There's a regular SCAR. There's a heavy shotgun. There's a long heavy shotgun, whatever it's called. Then they have the tag shotgun, which there's variations, but they're not valuable. They don't hold any purpose in the game. No one's going to use them. As soon as you get a blue pump, as soon as you get a gold pump, purple pump, guess what you're going to do? You're going to drop that tag. You're going to drop the heavy. It's just what that's just how the game flows right now, and I feel like there should be more valuable guns inside of Fortnite. The next thing I want to go into with Fortnite Battle Royale Season 7 is resources. Resources, you have to chop so many trees to get them. I've spent probably 5 minutes straight out of like a 15-minute game just chopping trees down because I'm trying to get mats. I'll end up walking out of there after 5 minutes with 450 mats or something close to that, maybe 500, depending on the area where I'm chopping mats at. And I just feel like that's so much wasted time. You know, definitely if you get all your mats and everything and then you die, which obviously you probably just better off just taking your time at that point, but that does happen. And at that point it's like, wow, I don't even want to play this game no more, because now guess what, now I gotta go and get more mats. I gotta do the same thing over and over and over again. Mats are so like, I don't know, they've been nerfing building a lot, kind of, but at the same time, I feel like they should give us more mats. I mean, we shouldn't have to chop down so many trees. And it's not like you really get mats for killing people. I mean, every once in a while, you will get like a bunch of mats from someone. Maybe if they found a llama or something, usually. But other than that, most people run around with about 100 mats, 200 mats. If they're good players, they run around with about 400. I run around with about 400 to 500, depending on how much I find. Once you're in that 400 to 500 range, it's good, but it takes about 5 straight minutes of just chopping trees down or running and you know, and hitting trees on your way to wherever you're doing to actually get that many mats. And I think they should add. I think they should buff how much mats you get. Sometimes, like, I feel like they should give us maybe like 10 more mats. Just even 10 more mats per tree would be perfect. The next thing I want to go into is points of interest. And if you don't know what I mean by that, I mean the majority of where players want to land, where places players actually want to land. Right now we have Pleasant Park, Retail Row, Salty Springs, and Tilted Towers. And that's where a majority of the players land, depending on where the bus flies. I feel like there should be more active locations. Like, obviously people land everywhere, Fatal Fields, Snobby Shores, things like that, but I'm saying like actual like places people want to land for specific reasons. There's a lot of chests, there's a lot of mats. I feel like they should add those into Season 7 and advance the game. Instead of having everyone land at the same exact spots for 3 seasons now, no one moves. Obviously they have Happy Hamlet and stuff like that, but they're not good. No one wants to land there. It's so far out of the way. No one wants to go way over there and land. And then you have to run from the storm majority of the time, almost all the time, and it's just not fun. So I feel like they need to add more places, maybe towards the center of the map, maybe not exactly in the center of the map, you know, but like closer to the center of the map where people actually want to land. And that would be very important in my eyes, I think, just because I know personally I'm tired of landing at the most common places. I'm tired of landing even at the uncommon places. I just want something new that's actually good. And I don't like Happy Hamlet. I don't like Polar Peak. No one likes landing there. It's just boring. There's nothing there. I mean, there's houses, but it's like so congested you can't even find anything. I just don't like it. The next thing I think that should be really taken care of and, you know, looked after in Fortnite Season 7 is bugs. There's a lot of bugs. With a lot of new items they add, there's a lot of new bugs. For example, the zip line. You know how many different bugs there are in the zip line? And that's just one thing. There's bugs with people shooting at you. There's bugs with building. There's so many bugs, and obviously I know that you can't really fix all the bugs because you don't really know they exist yet. And even if you do, you have to find a way around that. I understand that, but they should focus on bugs instead of adding, for example, boom boxes. No one wants the boom box. Fix your game first. I feel like that is a very important key. It's just fix your game and then add useless items like a boom box that no one wants and everyone hates because it just cancels out everything that makes Fortnite Fortnite. I really believe they should focus on bugs, and that's it. Last but not least is I think Fortnite should add more community power to the game. I mean, the community is what runs Fortnite. And by that, I mean like For example, LTMs or something like that. I believe that we should be able to vote on LTMs and things like that. For example, like gold, solid gold, or close encounters. There should be like a voting option for the community. So instead of them just throwing in a bunch of LTMs that no one really wants to play, you get to vote. You say, all right, so here's 3 game modes. You guys get to pick. You guys get to make a suggestion or whatever like that. That also goes along with like guns and weapons. For example, no one likes boomboxes. No one likes airplanes. Everyone hates that stuff. There should be an option to vote. For example, they just make like a Twitter poll or a Reddit or whatever they want to do, just asking the community to vote, and then whatever gets voted is what they add. So, example, they could have put boomboxes, silent sniper, and airplanes in a vote. And then at that point, if the community voted for airplanes, that's the community's fault that the airplane's in it, and they can't even take the heat for that because it's like the Fortnite players voted for it. I feel like there should be more community involvement. Now I'm not saying things like, "Oh, you guys need to add double pump back." I'm not talking about like that. I'm talking about like real involvement in with the progress of the game. Like, I don't like the pumps. You guys should fix the pumps. That's not what I mean by anyway. I mean like ways to further advance the game, not go back in progress, not change anything that you know was already changed, just further progress the game with the community. And I think that would be a great idea for Fortnite, and it would keep it alive for a lot longer. Alright guys, it's OBA Tech, and that's the end of my list. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe, and leave down in the comments any other suggestions that you think Fortnite should change or update or anything like that. Anyway, it's been OBA Tech. Like I said, make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'm going to let you guys finish watching this victory. I'm out. Peace. Knocked one. Let's go.